Yo, something's like really bothering me, and it has nothing to do with anybody specific whatsoever. But I've noticed something regarding a lot of people on YouTube that give advice to other people. And this is in no way an insult or a criticism or a judgment. I'm genuinely curious. How is it that you can tune in to a collective of energies when you are staring into your own eyes during a card reading or a counseling session or whatever it is you're talking to on YouTube or on any platform? I mean, usually when you look at yourself in the mirror and you talk, you're talking to yourself. So when you're looking in in the camera to speak to somebody, the world or however many people you speak to, how can you how is it that you can say that you're speaking to them when you're looking at yourself? I don't comprehend it, and it is in no way a knock on anyone or anything. Because a lot of those people give really great advice, and I don't stare at the camera. I don't stare at myself. I stare at the cards, and that's where my eyes are, and the rest of me is sitting with Source and all of our guides. And I don't really comprehend the efficiency or the benefit of looking at yourself while speaking to the world. I mean, can you visualize that? Like in ancient Greece, there was like a philosopher or something like Plato sitting on, standing on a pedestal somewhere or a stone, and he's like, hear ye, citizens of blah blah. I'm here to give you all this philosophy and wisdom and puppies and ponies, but they're staring at a mirror at themselves. I don't get it. I don't get it at all, honestly. Like, from what I comprehend of energy and all these lifetimes that I've been here and blah, 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 I have always been taught by the highest forces of wisdom that I've been able to contact. And whatever, I'm not going to explain this to you. I have been taught that when you are speaking to others, to look at them, not to look at yourself, not to look down, not to look left or right, but to look in the person's eyes, to acknowledge their energy, to acknowledge their presence, their body language, their, little things that happen, the little quirks that their face makes when they communicate or whatever. So, I mean, it's not even a matter of being a really good channeler or a really good psychic or something by staring at yourself. The only thing I can think of is, since you're in your universe and I'm in my universe, if I was to stare at myself in the camera while doing a card reading for you or for whomever, that would mean that I'm reading for you based on what is inside me that is being reflected of you. Does that make sense? But if it's being reflected off of me to you, it's not something in me that I'm seeing to read for you. Like, it's not even like I can't even see the light that you're emitting if I'm looking at myself. There's no, think about it this way. If I'm doing a card reading for that plant, which I've done, I'm going to be focused on that plant. I'm not going to point the camera at myself and look at myself and talk to myself while I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the plant, right? Like, if I'm going to a doctor and I'm going to have my teeth checked or my ears checked or something or whatever, and the doctor's looking at themselves in the mirror, like, yo, doc, you okay? I don't get it. Like, I was going to sit down and do a reading for myself, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do it for myself, and I'm going to look at myself in the camera while I'm doing it. And it makes perfect sense to me. And then I sat down and did a reading for you guys. I uploaded it earlier, and I didn't look in the camera. Two completely different readings. And I thought, do I post the one I did for myself out, and make it public, or no? And I heard no, because it was for me. I was looking at myself while doing the reading, which means it's a reading for me. Now, if I was going to look at myself and do a reading for you, I would be connecting with our soul group, because our soul group is connected to the same soul. So if you're doing soul group readings, sure, look at like yourself while doing it, because everyone is connected to your soul. So if you're getting messages from source and your soul and the guides, they will align somewhat. But if you're doing a reading for the entire collective or for the general public, I don't comprehend how it's efficient to look at yourself while doing a reading for others. It's also like going to a card reader and the card reader puts a mirror in front of you and avoids you but reads her own reflection or his own reflection and looks at the cards. Like you'd be invisible. What do you, like, who's this? That looks like a butt. Sorry, I'm really confused by this in a way. And the reading I did for myself, by the way, was the same message from my guides I've been getting for months. Get to the eyes of the children. Be in front of the children. Talk to the kids. Teach them. And I'm like, what do you want me to teach them? And they keep telling me what you're extraordinary at. And I'm like, what am I extraordinary at? They're like, you already know. And I face palmed and closed the reading. Like, if I already knew, would I be asking you? So I'm really wondering, like, if I go sit there right now and put a mirror in front of me and read for myself, it'll be a direct link to myself, even like amplified through the reflection of the mirror. If I face the camera and talk to the camera and do a reading for you, but I'm staring at myself in the camera, then it is not a reading for you, because I'm focusing my eye energy, the windows to my soul, on myself. Whereas if I'm looking in the camera and looking directly in the camera at you looking at the screen, then that's a different story. But there's some that look at the camera and look at themselves, which I don't comprehend. And when I get confused, I usually recognize that the confusion is a lie, or it's something that's not meant to be aligned with my path. And what I've been taught is you acknowledge the other person's energy. You read everything that comes through, you translate it properly, and it has nothing to do with the reader. It has to do with the experiences of the reader being used as metaphors for the viewer. So I don't comprehend why I would be in front of the camera while looking at myself and doing a reading for you. It's kind of like being on the phone and looking in the mirror while talking to my mom. It doesn't really make sense. Like, if I'm talking to my mom, why am I looking at myself in the mirror? Like, I should be looking at her picture, right? Or I should be in front of her, looking at her and talking to her. I don't get it. And I'm starting to think that this question was brought up in my mind today because there's just stuff that we need to be we are being asked to be aware of deeply. And I really think that there's a lot of misinformation going on in the world. And I don't think it has to do just with people who stare at themselves in reading, because that's like really ridiculous. But I think it has something to do with that vibration. It's very, very subtle. Because if you know about energy, if you're a channeler, and most of you on this channel you guys are teachers and healers. And I'm asking you, as well as asking our guides, what is the point of looking at ourselves while doing readings for others? What is the benefit that you, as a healer, as a teacher, as a guide, as whatever your role in this world is, Reiki healer, energy healer, holding space, or you do code activations, or you make subliminals of frequencies, or whatever you do to benefit mankind and make an impact on the collective, right? However small or big. What benefit do you receive by looking at yourself in the videos while you do the readings for others? Because I'm starting to feel like I'm missing something here. Because my as far as I can remember, I've always been this like focusing on others' energy while doing the reading is how you do the reading for others. But if I'm focusing on myself doing a reading for others, how does that benefit the other? Because we will be picking up on our own pain. And our own pain, if it's meant to heal other people, then in that case, we should be speaking like eye to eye and expressing what occurred, not looking at ourselves and talking about what occurred. Because we're not trying to heal ourselves, we're trying to heal other people. So why are we looking at ourselves while we're trying to help others? I hope this makes sense to you, and I really hope you guys will give your opinions on this and your input, because I'm genuinely confused on this topic, or this thing I've perceived today. And it's been in the back of my mind for a while now, especially when like cell phones started showing up with like way like 20, 30 years ago, when with those little flip phones and the beepers, and you would take like pictures and like Polaroids and all that. And people would take pictures of themselves, and the psychiatrist started saying that people who take selfies are narcissists, which was absurd, right? It's freaking absurd. Like, you're taking pictures of yourself. But if you're like constantly taking pictures of yourself, it's a little like there's a fine line. You notice that, right? So I'm really curious, is this something that I, as a healer, as a teacher, am being shown to help guide others through and to bring awareness to it, like to shine light on the remnants of some kind of a low vibratory energy? Or is it something where I'm like pointing out something to you that requires healing in the collective? Or is it something that's like I'm being asked to show you that if we change this, then maybe your ability to heal will become better? Because maybe some healers are diverting the flow of healing energy back to themselves when it's intended for others, which is like a cycle of energy repeating itself and not going anywhere, which causes stagnancy. I'm really, really wondering, and I would really appreciate you guys giving your insights on this, what your guides are telling you. Why is it that people when people record YouTube videos, they look at themselves in the camera instead of at like, my camera there's this right here, right? But then there's another one over there somewhere. And if I look at this one, I look you right in the eye. If I look over there, I'd be looking at myself. So I'm really curious, because if I'm doing something wrong, I would love to correct my behavior and my alignment. And like, if it's actually more efficient to look at myself while doing readings for others, I will put a mirror in front of myself. And sorry, this chair is fucking squeaky. And it squeaks again. So I would really appreciate your input. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And what else was there? That's it, yeah. It's just, I'm really confused about this. And again, it is in no way intended to cause any form of discomfort or emotional like judgment or criticism to any of you. I'm genuinely asking from a place of honest, sincere curiosity. Is it something I've been doing wrong by not looking at myself while doing readings for you guys? Or is it something that is being brought to my attention to bring to your attention, so we change the way we do readings by looking at the person instead of looking at ourselves? I think like things are changing, especially with in what's going on in a few days with the Great Conjunction. I would like to be able to do what I do for you efficiently. And if I can improve, I would really love to know how. Because it seems like I'm missing something. I hope this helps you, and I hope you can sense the sincerity. This is in no way and like intended to insult anybody. I'm really curious, because the people I see doing these readings, you guys are gorgeous, like every one of you. I don't care who you are. You're beautiful people with beautiful hearts. I just don't comprehend why most of you look at yourselves while looking at the camera, while others look at the camera instead of looking at themselves. There's like not an equal amount. There's more people I've noticed on YouTube that look at themselves while recording videos, and there's some that look at the camera looking through the screen towards the person, and then there's some that just show their hands. So I'm curious, what is it that you do with your channel and your clients and your the people you're guiding, and how is it benefiting you compared to doing it in another way? And it has nothing to do with people staring at you, okay, and seeing your energy or your aura or your facial features, none of that. It has to do with why the the channel itself, the being that channels, stares at itself while channeling information. And just FYI, if you're putting videos on YouTube or any form of social media, an aspect of you is channeling divine energy to bring that into the collective. We're all channeling all the time, whether we're aware of it or not. So thank you. And yeah, I hope you had a really, really great fucking day, because my day's been really, really peaceful and like cute. Even that little brat is feeling fantastic and sleeping almost all day. She's even eaten her food today, like way more than just a couple of nibbles. And I've added some things for Lily on the Amazon wish list, and thank you guys for like being so amazingly supportive. Like, I had no idea that that there's so much love and care for me out in the world. I've been treated like crap for so long, and I've treated myself for like crap for even longer. And it's so heartwarming to know that, you know, sometimes family isn't there, sometimes friends aren't there, or, you know, we thought that the enemies were friends, or that whatever, right? And then to see like total strangers show so much compassion and kindness and support and like actual, honest, sincere intent to assist. It's beautiful, and I thank you for all of it from the bottom of my soul and the height of my consciousness. I thank you. I love you. I hope whatever you're doing and whatever you're going through, it is known to you that you are a glorious being and you are better than any problems you might be experiencing in your life. Have a good night.